Okay, so here's where we left off. I have a background pattern, and you can have as many background patterns as you want, but I need to get some other images in here. I would recommend for your final project to have at least 7, 8 layers in there, 7 different images, maybe some text. Okay, so I'm going to open up another image. I'm going to try to find kind of like this image. I'm going to put this in there as well. So I'm going to select all, and I'm just going to copy. Okay. Again, you can just, there's lots of ways you can do it. You can just drag it in there, but this is the way I like doing it, so I can kind of position things where I want them. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is a lot of different ways you can do this, but I am going to blend this in. Now, we could use a layer mask, but I'm just going to use the eraser tool. Okay. The eraser tool is right here, and what I'm going to do is set a really large pixel size. You see how large my brush is. You can see it gets smaller as we go up in size. It gets bigger. Okay, I'm going to use a really big brush. I'm going to make it really soft. 0 is soft. Okay, and then I'm going to set the opacity down because this is basically how much it's going to erase at one time. Up here, it's going to like just take it all out. You can see it right there. Okay, so what I like to do is just bring it down. I don't know, usually right about there, and I'm just going to start using my mouse and clicking, and just kind of like a paintbrush. I'm just going to kind of blend this. Okay, I'm just blending the edges. Okay, a lot of different ways you could do this, so don't email me and say I'm doing it wrong. This is the way I want to do it. So you can use masks, you can use selections, you can do all kinds of stuff. Okay, so this is the way I'm doing it. You don't have to follow this technique. You can use your own technique. That's fine. I want to get that out of there, that little thing there. So I'm just going to reposition my background layer again. I'm going to rename that, because if it's called background, then it's going to automatically be in the background. So I'm just going to make it a little larger to get that out of there. Okay. All right, so that looks pretty good. Again, I'm saving as I go. I think I put it in the wrong comp. I did. You got to watch that as well. So I'm going to take this and put it over here. Okay. And basically, what happened was I put it in the wrong composition. Okay, but there we go. Okay, so you can just copy and paste. Use your close that. So here's what I got so far. Okay, make sure you're working in the right document, because I wasn't there for a second. Okay. All right, so there's 2 images. Okay, I'm going to name this one. I'm going to call it circle pattern. Okay, you can see I'm naming my layers as I go as well. That's going to help me see what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to use another image here. I'm going to use, I like this. This is kind of fun. I'm going to use a little trick here. I'm going to edit. I'm going to copy. Again, if you don't want the whole image, you can select part of it like that. Copy it. Go back to your other document. Paste it. Okay. Now you're going to see these images, since I'm at 300 DPI and they're a lower res, that I may have to scale them up. Okay. You're going to lose some image quality that way, but I'm going to go back to this image, deselect. I'm going to select all. Okay, so it's all about making selections and blending and using masks or eraser, whatever you want to do. Totally up to you. Again, this is the way I'm doing it. You can use masks if you want. Totally up to you. Okay, now this is on top. You can kind of see it right here, but I'm going to take the opacity down on that layer just so I can kind of see that pattern in the back. I just want to barely see it. Now I want to bring this up above it. Okay, so I just clicked and dragged that above it. And I like that so far. That's looking pretty good. Kind of like that. All right, let's make this just a little bit bigger. Okay, this is why having things on separate layers is important. Okay, and I'll add one more image, and then we'll go to the typography. So I'm going to use this image. And I just want part of this image. I don't want a whole lot of it. So I'm just going to make that selection like that. copy it. Again, make sure you're working in the right document. Again, these images are not 300 dpi to start out with, so as you copy and paste them, they're going to want to be smaller because they're at a lower resolution. I'm going to use my eraser tool again. Blend this kind of nicely. Okay, you could have feathered this selection. Okay, but I like doing it like this because I can actually see how it's working with my composition. Okay, just be careful of what you erase. Yeah, I'm just gonna. This is a demo, so. Okay, you got to make sure you got the right layer selected while you're working on it. And again, I'm using a really soft brush with the eraser tool. Okay, and I'm gonna bring this up in size just a little bit. I like that. That looks good. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and save. Okay, so you can see I have background patterns, I have images, I have a theme going on. That's kind of what I'm looking for in this composition. Okay, next I will show you how to put the typography in.